Okay. Good morning, everybody. Today we'll look into a case study, which is really inspiring story for all of us, and the path the entrepreneur has gone through is really amazing, and definitely it will help us if we are planning to uh, set up our enterprise. Definitely, this particular case study is going to help us. The case study is this is the one, Captain G.R. Gopinath. So Captain G.R. Gopinath, he started the Air Deccan. Okay, he brought in revolution in the aviation industry. So today we'll look into what kind of a revolution he brought into the aviation industry, and he started the company called Air Deccan. And if you search through the net, there are a lot of materials that is available on Air Deccan and many business schools. Okay, not only in India, in many foreign universities, they do this particular case study in detail. All the management schools, they study this case study about the Air Deccan. And Air Deccan, it was started by Captain Gopinath with his few of his colleagues, and the strategy he brought into the industry was like at that particular time, it was he started the company. He started working on the company around 1995, and the time he took to start the actual company, the Air Deccan, was in 2003. That time, the aviation industry was considered as it is restricted to the only the higher class people. The question was the affordability. The cost was very high. What thought he brought into the aviation industry is the low cost. Okay, to set up a low cost airline and making the huge middle class. Okay, if he can make the prices affordable for the middle class, then there will be a huge market. That was a great potential that he saw, and he targeted the middle class, and he came up with a plan to reduce the airline cost so that it will become affordable for the middle class. And middle class market is very, very huge, and he can tap that particular market. So that was the plan. And when he started in 2003, he went through a lot of difficulties. We'll go through all the details. Then, but his idea was a very revolutionary idea, and then he slowly started with the charter service, helicopter charter service. That was not present in India at that time, the helicopter charter service. And so helicopter charter service he started, and slowly he moved on to, he understood the how the aviation industry works. He used the technology, he tools to reduce the cost, operational cost. The biggest challenge to run the airline is the operational cost is very, very high. He worked on many strategies. He used the technologies. He tried to bring down the cost. And also one of the revolutionary thing he done, which was not done by the other airlines. At that time, the most popular airlines were like SpiceJet, Jet Airways, then Indian Airlines. All those were working in the domestic market, and their ticketing pattern was different. It was completely reliant on the agents. There was a lot of credit. So when customers pay to the agent, they get the ticket. The money is with the agents, and in order for the company to get that, it will take about like 15 to 30 days. That is the credit time. What he did was he set up the internet portal where customer can directly purchase the tickets through the Air Deccan website. And also he set up the call centers, his own call centers, where customer can by paying the upfront cost, customers will be able to get their tickets. And he made a such a environment, ticketing environment, where the money will directly come to the company. So you can imagine, he totally removed the agents and the commission, and that is how the cost got reduced. And one more advantage he got is, instead of waiting for that money from the agent, he directly got it into the company, which he can use for the working capital, because working capital is huge in case of a aviation industry. That particular revenue generated, and normally when people are booking the tickets, they will book at least 24 hours before, right? Some people they book it like 15 days before. So he got the money in advance, which he can use for the working capital. So he had most of the working capital he got from this particular money, and that is how he doesn't have to borrow from other people for maintaining the working capital. So that is how he saved on the interest of the working capital. So he used, this is one of the measures I told you. He used many such measures where he made the cost to come down as much as possible. And one of the other strategies he used is a no frills. So no frills is like, the other airlines, when you travel through the airlines, you get water, you get food, you get snacks, you get other beverages. So what he did was, he did not serve those. Okay, he focused on only the essential part of the airline transportation. So whatever the customers is need is to travel from one destination to the other destination, he focused only on the essential things. So that is how he cut down a lot of cost on the other aspects. And the whatever the cost he saved taking such measures, indirectly it helped him in reducing the ticketing prices. So the airline ticket at that time, it costed about 30 to 40% less than the other competitors. So that was a big revolution in that industry, where middle class people, they could afford to travel by the air. And that is how he tapped the biggest market. If you see, he created a completely new market. He didn't venture into the competition. Already the many airlines were there. They were competing. Their market segment was totally different. Their market segment was um, the higher class people, like who has higher income. His market segment was the middle class. So he totally created a new market segment, and he positioned well. And this particular airline saw a rapid growth in a very short time. It saw a rapid growth, and in 2008, it got merged with the Kingfisher Airlines. It is the Air Deccan was bought by the Vijay Mallya group of companies, Kingfisher, and after that it merged with Kingfisher, and that was the end of the Air Deccan. Then after selling the Air Deccan, he started with the cargo. Okay, Air Deccan cargo. That is the whole brief summary about the Air Deccan. We'll look into the details. Before getting there, just we will Google um about the Air Deccan. There are a lot of information that is available. Okay, Wikipedia. If you see the Wikipedia, okay. So this is the logo, Air Deccan. There are a lot of information about the Air Deccan. and this Air Deccan is headquartered in Bangalore. Okay, so this is the one beautiful document I got. So I will share this document. We'll go through this document. It gives the overall picture of the entrepreneur himself and how he moved from. He was a army officer. How he moved from the army officer to become uh, entrepreneur in the aviation, and who is considered as the father of the low cost airline. So this is the picture of the Gopinath, pioneer of India's low-cost airlines, Air Deccan, ex-army officer turned farmer and entrepreneur in 1997. He worked for the army for 8 years, and then he became the farmer. And the farmer, he grow different vegetables, and he try to bring in new technology, new ideas into the farming. And from there, he moved into sericulture. In sericulture, he involved many different type of technology where it will improve the sericulture, the silk quality. And he was consulted by many government and NGOs for in that particular sector. So he did. He started along with another colleague from Army, founded Air Deccan Aviation, India's largest private helicopter charter. In 2003, he became the pioneer in launching India's low-cost carrier, Air Deccan, the common man's airline. He started with the first. He started with the helicopter charter. Initially, he started with the one helicopter. And then after that, in 2003, he started the low cost airline carrier, that is Air Deccan. A former army officer and award winning sericulturist, Captain Gopinath made his foray in the aviation sector back in 95. Okay, and aviation was monopolized by all the full service airlines. Full service airlines is they will provide all the necessity and the luxurious things that are required for the airline industry. Those are the full service airlines. So with those people which helicopter charter business had in India, he started with the helicopter charter business. Technical skills of his ex-army friends, he heli charter company. Okay, the headquarters is in the Bangalore. 2008, it had around 11 helicopters and two small aircrafts, and their operations spanned from many major cities in India. They started with the major cities in India, and also they moved their operations into other countries like Sri Lanka. This is the early life and education of Captain Gopinath. Defense Academy, that is NDA. Then he served the Indian Army, and he's considered as the father of low-cost air travel in India. And he created the whole new market. So when you say new market, is like until that middle class was not thought, the aviation industry never thought middle class is their market. He is the one with the low cost idea. He created that whole middle class as a market for the aviation industry. That is how he created a totally new market. So he is born in Hassan, okay, in a remote village of Gorur, okay. That is the G stands for Gorur, Karnataka. Initially, he studied in Sainik School in Bijapur, and then he joined the NDA, and he graduated from the Indian Military Academy as a commissioner officer in Indian Army. Then he served the army for about 8 years. Sometime in 1995, government started the reform process by encouraging the entrepreneurship. So this inspired the entrepreneur in him to identify the tremendous potential helicopter charter had in India. See, so whenever I told you how entrepreneurs they come up is like there are many ways to do that. One of those reforms in certain sector will really encourage the some of the people who are really thinkify by the government of India. It inspired helicopter charter sector, private sector, commercial helicopter service in 96. He started with just one helicopter. Today, in 2008, it had many helicopters that were operating in the helicopter charter. So his journey was not simple as it looks. Okay, what people will see the only the success, the end result when Captain Gopinath was very, very successful back in 2008 during that time. But he went from sericulturist, he got into the company. So he was always challenged with the difficulties. So for 6 years in the farming sector, he struggled a lot. Okay, he was growing all the fruits and vegetables in a government provided land when his land was eaten up by the dam. So the fertile lands of their forefathers were eaten up by the dam because of the dam, and he was given with some alternate land. And you understand when the land is new, to make it fertile, it takes years together. So he went through that hardship. In 1985, he started with the silkworm rearing. So he became the sericulturist and started doing work on that. And to become very successful in sericulture sericulture business, to Captain Gopinath 4 years to get one helicopter on lease. So here, when he launched the Deccan Aviation, he has to wait for 4 years. Means wait in the sense he was working on getting one helicopter on lease. So he it went through lot of government policies problems, other issues, and having trust of your background. So all is whether they emerged from the government controls competition or something else. His first air Deccan flight caught fire and everyone wrote his company off. So when his first air Deccan flight caught fire, everybody thought he will not succeed. But he says that he's been an optimist who always refused to give up. So one of the great characteristic of the entrepreneurs is never to give up. Okay, they take the failures as the lessons, challenges, and they learn upon those challenges, and they come up with something else. So they will never give up. He faced all the challenges head on to give Air India, to give India Air Deccan that boasts about faster aircraft turnaround time, cost, efficiency, wide connectivity, and ticketing access. So that is how he was able to give India the Air Deccan. And Captain Gopinath, he stresses on one should pursue his passion and never let fear failing come in the way. The problem will come and failures are unavoidable, but having single-minded focus, determination, ability to assimilate failures as the only way forward. So he believed always we have to be highly focused. We should be determined, and we should take the failures as the way they come in, and we should go ahead with those things. So from army, farming, and deals to aviation, Gopinath had one dream, that is to make a difference, and in spite of all odds, he continues to pursue that. So, what are Gopinath success mantras? The success hasn't been easy sale of a successful person. Captain Gopinath, he didn't have a smooth flight earlier. Means when he started his company, that was not a smooth ride. He has to go through different challenges, and that is how he was able to succeed. Okay. After tasting the success as a sericulturist, moved to launch the Air Deccan, then heli charter firm. The man gave India lowest fare airlines, Air Deccan. Recently, in 2008, he sold that particular Air Deccan business to Kingfisher, and he moved on to another venture, Deccan Cargo. So, leading the pack was Gopinath's Air Deccan that promised to revolutionize the air travel by allowing everyone to fly by offering hitherto unheard of fares. Gopinath was a serial entrepreneur. Why he is serial entrepreneur is he worked from army, then he went on to the farming, then sericulture business, then helicopter charter, then he worked on the aviation business. And when he was in doing the sericulture business, he developed environmentally friendly and innovative ways of cultivating silkworms. And for this, many government agencies and NGOs, they came up to his farm to learn about that. And also he won many awards for the kind of technology he was using for cultivating the silkworms. Gopinath entered the aviation business as a response to a pilot friend who did not have a job, as he left that there was no good scope for the charter company in India, given the distance and the economic development taking place. So you can see how I told you how the how you get the ideas, how entrepreneurs get the ideas. See here, the his one of friend he lost one of the friend who was a pilot who lost his job. That was the situation when he thought of starting the aviation business, because he wanted to help his friend. That is how he thought of starting the aviation business. So he started Deccan Aviation business in 97, providing chartered helicopter and small aircraft access across the India. Many times people would approach Gopinath to travel to smaller towns, but what happens, the price is more, so they will not travel because of the cost. Then he thought there is a huge potential for the aviation industry. So Southwest Airlines, they thought of this low cost, and they are the pioneers in US. That is how Southwest Airlines was successful in United States of America. Air Deccan sought to cut the frills. So I said the idea was no frills. Okay, means no non-essential things. So non-essential things is like a food, the water or the beverages, and snacks that are provided in a very short journey. Your journey is about like 1 hour. So he focused on the essential of the travel. That is, if a person wants to travel from Bangalore to Delhi, that is the focus. Okay, he focused on only essential things, and whatever the savings he got he passed on to the customer. So starting in August 2003 with the turboprop aircraft that connected small towns to large cities, Air Deccan soon expanded Airbus A320 jet operations connecting major cities. It started with from small cities to connecting the big cities. That is how they started, and later they expanded with the Airbus A320. They started connecting the major cities. So if you see the um, uh, Air Deccan, uh, the characteristic is like a point of they didn't if any customer requires based on the cost, they will take the price the money and they will serve it in the flight. Sold all tickets only through the internet or its call centers, did not pay commissions or give credit to the travel. So for helping with the working capital, so one thing is commission. By avoiding the commission, that particular saving is transferred to the customers in favor of a low cost ticket, and this let us when they are booking daily, they will be booking many tickets, and over a period they will be having a huge pile of money which belongs to the airline company. So it is kind of a there would be some kind of agreement. They will do the payment every 15 minutes, every 15 days or that much amount particular agency. It is not available for the company. What he did was, because he is getting the all the ticketing is done by only through his company. Most of the money was received by the company, which was used for the working capital. And he had a very limited staff. Okay, whichever is required, he will have those positions, and he outsourced as many operations as possible. So if you know, like in airline industry, there are a lot of services that are required. For example is baggaging, right, helping with the loading the baggage into the aircraft, and then taking out those services. Most of the operations, and those are not like all day work. It's a limited work. So what he did was he outsourced to the people who created new network of travel intermediaries who would sell their tickets. The airline also tied with the major oil company and department of posts, okay, to enhance the reach. So major oil companies, the reason for having the tie up with the oil companies most the airlines, the most important thing is the fuel. Okay, fuel is the most important thing. Maximum money is spent on the fuel, and with the fluctuation in the fuel prices, the airline will have the tie up with the oil company, maybe there will be some prices that he also start Indian Airlines with increase received to Academy of Management on the entrepreneur himself and for the organization. So you can see Business Leader Award, World HRD Congress, then Startup Entrepreneur of the Year. These are the many awards received by him. Okay. Here, Air Deccan is the amazing story of India's first low-cost airline. It has become nation's largest airline in less than 4 years. So, this is the achievement in a very short span. So, 4 years is a very short span. In that short span, he became the largest airline in the industry, and they have done this through a clever combination of innovation and outsourcing. More importantly, from the strategic perspective, it gives powerful evidence to how technology can be key factor in changing industry dynamics, even in what were once considered fairly stable or conservative industry. So he using the technology and the innovation. Earlier, this aviation industry was thought as a very conservative, limited to very the high class of the society. He changed the whole idea of that, and he created a huge market. So, what is the business model that Air Deccan followed? Okay, the elements of Air Deccan's no frills, low cost. So no non-essential things and a low cost air carrier business model. This included offering low prices, low fares to stimulate the demand. So when the prices are low, automatically it will increase the demand. When affordability of the people will increase, automatically the demand will increase. As the demand increases, the business will start expanding. That was the one of the key factor of Air Deccan's business model. Selecting routes to simulate the demand. Then one thing is the low cost, which will automatically generate the revenue, and also selecting the particular routes, okay, which will simulate the demand. If there is a need for the people to travel from one city to another city, if we can simulate that, okay, if the uh, 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 if aircrafts are provided in that with a low cost, automatically it will slowly start increasing the demand in that particular route. So that was the one of the ideas. Next one is the reducing costs, increasing utilization. Reducing costs is like whatever the cost that is incurred in operations, trying to reduce that and making the utilization factor very high. Whatever they are utilizing, they are utilizing it to the a maximum extent. Air Deccan tries to how it did that, reducing cost and increasing utilization, reduce the cost of its operation. Whatever is the operational cost, that should be reduced. So some of the examples are, it, it does so in part by seeking to when such use can complete operation, such as passenger check-in, outsource non-core business processes. So passenger check-in, if it is like less cumbersome, and then it will automatically reduce the cost. And whatever is the non-core business, means which is not really business of the company, it will be outsourced to other service providers. Provide a no frill service, we talked about that. So only include the essential things. Seeking high aircraft utilization, this is the main thing. So when you have an aircraft, if it is sitting idle, means you are incurring cost, means you are not utilizing that. So his plan was to high aircraft utilization. If in 24 hours, if that flight can be operational for, let's say, 20 hours, it should be used up to the 20 hours. That is how the planning, the routes should be selected, the so that every aircraft is utilized to the its maximum extent, providing a safe on-time services. Okay, this is one of the most important thing when you are concerned with the
Sir,
airline
screen
industry.
not visible.
Be okay. Is it visible now?
No, sir. Now it's visible.
Visible? Okay. Okay. Providing safe on-time services, increasing the ancillary revenues. Uh, in addition to charging for the tickets, Air Deccan earns revenue from charging for in-flight food and drinks. So, whatever the ancillaries revenue means selling, advertising, but it will sell if any customer requires. So, trying to increase those revenues. That was the another model. Deccan operates from major cities, six major cities. Okay, then Air Deccan flies its trunk routes among these bases and flies routes that connect its bases with the various regional businesses. So it planned such a way that it operated from the major cities, and it tried to connect the locations of crucial businesses. Here are the some of the stats. It started in 2003. These are the number of routes it operated. Uh, by end of March 2004, it was 14. End of September 30, it was 24. Then end of March 2005, 40. End of September 2005, 46. So if you see the average number of routes, it increased from 11.29 to 17, 23.92 to 43.33. Then number of airports it has the presence in, it was 12, then it became 20, 30, 37. So there is a gradual increase. Then average number of airports served, initially it was 11, then it became around 16, around 21, and around 34 by the end of the September 2005. So there is a constant increase in the business. So these are the different routes it flew. Cost management. In order to help translate its low cost fare strategy into positive results of operation, Air Deccan strives to reduce the cost of its operation. So that is how we saw their business model, how they are trying to manage the cost to reduce the operational cost and increase the utilization of the aircrafts, so that they can get the maximum savings done. So that is how they can provide a working capital management. I talked about the payments. All the payments were received, and I told you at least people will book the flights 24 hours before. That is how, like, with their internet and with their call centers, they directly collected all the money, and that is how they can use that particular money for their working capital. For the competitors, they had to wait about like 30 days or more. It depends on, because competitors, they relied on the agencies, external agencies for ticketing. So they have to wait for 30 days or more. So that advantage was, Air Deccan was having that advantage. There was a no credit given to anybody. All the money was received, and that was received toward the major chunk of the working capital. marketing and distribution. Constantly, they worked on the different routes, profitable routes. Okay, and that is how they increase their market share. So there is some diagram which shows the market share. Okay, human resource also. What their human resource was limited to whatever is for their core business, and those people, the employees were trained very well, and whatever is the non-core business, it was outsourced to the other companies. So this is the some stats about the pilots, co-pilots. Okay. In end of March 2004, around 381 was there, their employee total. Then it became 770, 1183, and by the end of September 2005, it was 1595. Okay, market share. I will show you the market share. So this is leading airlines for October 2005. This is a 2005 data. You can see this is the Indian Airlines was the 28%. Jet Airways is the major player, 35%, and you can see Air Deccan had a 11%. When Air Deccan and when Kingfisher bought over the Air Deccan in 2008, their market share was about 33%. So these are the some of the growth charts, number of destinations. So there is a constant increase. Number of flights. So it started from 46 to 350. Number of passengers. So it is in terms of millions, from 0.4 millions to 14 million in October 2007. This is the balance sheet. Okay, so just we'll see the what is the profit. Okay, we may not understand most of the things here. So the profit, you can see the profit here, and they were having a this is around 359 crores profit. It shows that is in year June 2006. Okay, June 2006. It shows about this is sorry, 39 crores. Okay, earlier it was 28 crores. That was the profit. Then merger with the Kingfisher Airlines. Air Deccan Airlines merged with the Kingfisher Airlines and decided to operate as a single entity from April 2008. That is when it got merged, and Vijay Malla, he bought 26% of the stake. That is how they that was the like a end of the Air Deccan, and later Captain Gopinath he started with the Air Deccan Cargo. That is a totally a new venture. So you can look into internet. There are many case studies based on Air Deccan industry.